Darn it, I just realized that I was muted. So let's start this over again. Hi, it's Monday. Monday, March. I'm Oni Black Mage. We are playing Battlefield 5. A game that I'm eager to be done with and out of my life. I remember early on when Battlefield 5 had its beta that I was playing it and was none too impressed. In fact, I was disappointed with some of the steps backwards that Battlefield 1 took mechanically, and even more so how much more stripped down Battlefield 5 took it, to where it's like, wow, this felt like just a cash-in. A cash-in on Battlefield 1, which wasn't, in my opinion, the best foot forward for what Battlefield could have done, much less for DICE. And yeah, just like the guy that we're looking at right now on the title screen, I'm not too enthused about what we're going to be seeing ahead. But we are going to finish this fight. This very dull fight, which is probably the worst curse of them all. And move on to hopefully more interesting things. No promises that there won't be more swearing and complaining. There's just so much not to like about this. It's so weird. Interesting. Thanks, I guess. I guess people are still enjoying this, which is fine. I like how when I say play, the first thing it wants me to do is jump into the multiplayer. Like, I just assume that's what I'm going to be doing. That's not what I want it to be doing. I want it to be... How the hell do I want play. There we go, war stories. Okay, here we go. That's new. Where it says, hey, there's 17 letters in here and 9 challenges. You'll get a melee weapon. Operation Dragoon. Dragoons actually originated from France. It's funny that when you say Dragoon in the RPG thing, everyone thinks about the famous Final Fantasy Lancer class that jumps and stabs down. Are we playing as American? I think I missed that. Or are we playing as French forces?
Regardez. Des soldats français courageux, prêts à se sacrifier pour la patrie. Ces hommes, c'étaient des héros. Mais ils n'étaient pas les seuls à combattre. Je vais vous raconter une histoire que vous ne connaissez pas.
Deme. Nangadev.
Idrissa.
C'est pas possible. S'ils t'ont laissé t'engager, ça veut dire que ça va pas du tout, de...
Ils m'ont demandé de venir repousser les Allemands parce que tu es trop faible et trop vieux pour ça, Idrissa. Regarde-toi.
Alors tu es venu gagner la guerre tout seul, c'est ça?
Si ça peut te faire du bien, va dire à ta femme que tu as aidé, non?
Moi-même j'ai une femme. Elle est trop jolie. Toi tu as quoi?
On disait, nous sommes français. Nous sommes français. Mais une fois en France, nous avons vu à quel point nous étions français. On va faire ça jusqu'à quand?
Jusqu'à ce qu'on ait fini.
C'est tout? C'est tout ce que l'on va faire?
Écoute, les choses ici sont... différentes.
À ces temps, les Français lançaient tout ce qu'ils avaient vers un château occupé par des troupes allemandes. Et quand tout a échoué, notre jeune et ambitieux capitaine a décidé de nous porter volontaires pour s'emparer des canons anti-aériens armants qui l'encerclent.
Hey, hey! Il faut garder ton calme. Joue pas les héros. Hein? Reste en vie, petit frère.
Oh, they're brothers.
Ce que je vais vous raconter n'apparaît dans aucun livre d'histoire. Vous ne me croirez peut-être pas, mais n'oubliez jamais que ce qui est écrit n'est pas toujours vrai, et que ce qui est vrai n'est pas toujours écrit.
That's actually a really good phrase. I like that. Not everything written down is true, and not everything true is written down. That's very wise.
Sois fort, sois courageux.
Okay, we're in this.
Je les vois. Les Allemands arrivent.
I do not like this gun. Whoa, shit. Pushing forward, let's go. Ow. Man, we need a rifle. See, now this feels like Battlefield. Taking a checkpoint. This is what I'm talking about. This game remembered it was a Battlefield game, finally.
On a réussi!
Alright, we got... Oof. Alright, where are these field guns? Over there. Okay, cool. That guy just spawned right in front of us. Ooh, I'm liking you.
Minuscule face à la guerre. Une autre fourmi prête à se faire écraser. Mais moi, je me répétais tout le temps.
Good Vista.
Non, pas moi. Je suis d'aimer. Je suis d'aimer. Et Dieu me viendra en aide.
This is kind of crazy. This environment right here. Ah, shit. Walked right into that. I need ammo. Okay, so we have 3 field guns.
Allez, à l'attaque!
Start right to left.
Notre équipement était souvent de mauvaise qualité. Pas adapté. Fallait apprendre à improviser. Fouiller. Bricoler. Je me disais, allez d'aimer. Cherche. Trouve un moyen pour que ça marche. sauvera des vies. De vraies vies. C'est concret. C'est réel. On sait qu'on a fait quelque chose de bien. Alors on se raccroche
Use
à
explosives.
cette idée
I don't have
et on
explosives.
rejoint.
Here we go. Dynamite. Oh, jeez. You okay? Oh, yeah, obviously you're okay. You're like, no, I died, but I got better. Don't worry about it. That is nuts. I'm glad nobody died. Jesus. Shit. Nothing like having a near-death experience to redefine your life. The morbid part of me wonders, man. It's like, well, I'm glad I played all those video games. Oh, I gotta do all that again. It was many years ago. Where I was driving on the highway, and one of those paint mixers from a truck slipped off the back of its bed and slammed down in front of me, and I was, you know, fortunately a fair bit away where I could just... And it's like my brain was on autopilot. I just smoothly, like, swerved. I just quickly and sharply, like, you know, drove to the right. I didn't even check to see if there was any near me. I could have sideswiped somebody. Just quickly rolled to the right, you know, swept past it and rolled back into my lane. I was like, damn. My brain just went on autopilot and it just performed. I was like, I'm so proud of you, brain. Let's see.
sauvera des vies. De vraies vies. C'est concret. C'est réel. On sait qu'on a fait quelque chose de bien. Alors on se raccroche à cette idée et on rejoint la boucherie.
I would like to say that you not dying is certainly the expectation, and not the end goal. But I am glad that you performed very well and got out of a very challenging situation. So honestly, you should be proud of yourself. That's what I'll say. You should be proud of yourself for doing so damn well. Good on you. Wait, destroy the field guns? Did I not already do that? Oh, I missed one. Well, I can personally say that I'm glad you didn't die. Good on ya.
Le QG ennemi est droit devant. On sait que ce combat sera pas facile. Enfin, c'est ce qu'on croyait. Mais en vrai, on n'avait aucune idée de ce qui allait se passer. Tous emportés par l'euphorie de cette surprenante victoire. Même après toutes ces années, je m'en souviens encore très bien. Mais j'ai toujours une boule au ventre quand je repense à ce qui nous attendait.
I mean, I probably could DM if you want to send me all of your, like, you know, players and information. Just joking. I would never be so disrespectful to Mother Man's game. That dynamite packed a punch. Wow, these guys are actually doing work. Whoa. Oh shit. We're holding, are we not?
L'avion débarque de nulle part. On n'a pas pu remercier le pilote. Et on s'en est voulu. On ne savait pas encore à quel point il serait remercié. Alors que nous, on n'aurait quasiment rien en retour.
We did it. Nice. It's okay to have multiple ideas, you know, for your game. That way things can be interesting and nothing gets predictable. Trust me, one of the most boring things you can do is be predictable.
Idrissa, est-ce qu'on a gagné?
Ils ont tous fui. Alors sauf s'ils ont changé les règles du jeu. Waouh, on a gagné.
Don't die. Don't get shot in the face.
On a gagné?
Cessez le feu. On a gagné.
On a gagné! On les a eus! On les a battus! On a gagné! On a gagné!
Surveillez les arbres là. Rassemblez les armes et les munitions.
Idrissa, attends. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait maintenant? Viens, on y va.
You know, it's funny. I actually think this is... I don't want to speak too early,
Faut te reposer, petit frère.
but I'm actually having fun with this particular chapter.
Peut-être ils nous donneront une médaille de...
This feels like a story.
Il faudrait prendre ces canons pour recevoir une médaille.
Démé, on n'a pas de commandant. On ne peut pas avancer sans soutien.
Tu en es sûr? Idrissa, tu es comme moi, allons. Allons les combattre.
J'ai une famille, des enfants.
Mais regardez-vous, on a déjà fait mieux que les meilleurs soldats français. Alors je vous pose la question, de quoi d'autre sommes-nous capables? Si on avance, et si on neutralise ces canons, les livres d'histoire parleront de nous, de la reconnaissance, du respect.
Because this is more rooted in a real struggle,
Alors on va prendre ce poste et leur montrer
where
à tous qui nous sommes
basically in this
vraiment.
chapter we're playing as the French who are part of the drive to drive into Berlin during the latter end years of the war, and we're playing the role of the black French infantry, which were treated like second-class citizens, you know, still an age of racism. And
Adorez mon discours. Alors,
these are the French dragoons.
on s'est dispersé et déployé pour atteindre les canons le plus discrètement possible.
And honestly, that mission structure felt like Battlefield, which I
On a
appreciate.
été séparés d'une partie de nos hommes. Je suis parti les rechercher pour qu'on puisse attaquer la batterie principale ensemble.
Il doit bien y avoir quelqu'un en vie là.
Oh, where are those fuckers? Well, I certainly stepped in the hornet's nest there. I don't know if it's a different writer, but at least the structure, the scenario designer on this one is not bad. I'm sorry, can you tell me why the first two bullets there, which were clearly over his head, did not hit him?
Les Allemands ne pourront plus communiquer entre eux.
Ah, come on. Alright, so first things first, I need to get up and disable that alarm.
Mon Dieu!
Nicht so griesgrämig! Dein Gesicht sieht ja...
Essayez de communiquer maintenant.
I almost want to take the shotgun.
Das ist doch...
Actually, this is a silenced rifle. I'm absolutely going to take this. just gonna avoid a fight going around here. Oh, of course the game won't let me do that. Game's like, you have to go along the main road. You can't circumnavigate our game. Deal with it.
Non. Quelle horreur.
Quelle horreur.
J'arrive trop tard. On peut jamais s'enlever cette pensée de l'esprit.
Troupes allemandes et barrage droit devant. Faut pas que je me fasse remarquer par ces patrouilles. Là, des soldats allemands.
I like how I was like doing my best to be in the grass, you know, and they're like, don't want to give them any reason to see why I'm here. I don't know how they saw me. Man, stealth is so non-existent. That's one of the worst things about this game, is that it asks you to be stealthy without actually implementing a stealth system. Like, you have to be on the main road. Maybe if I jump up here, they won't see me.
Barrage droit devant, avec des gardes allemands. Faut pas que les patrouilles allemandes me voient.
Versuch's im Krankenzelt!
I'm not sure what I'm stabbing him with.
Les Allemands ne pourront plus communiquer entre eux.
But whatever. If they're stabbed, they're dead. Ooh. I always used to joke about it, but I always used to say, well, if I ever run out of options or interests, I can always go and do what most of my family has done and work for the government or join the military. And I'm actually seriously thinking that's a good idea right now. Because there's one production facility that's working and still thriving. It's government. And I'm not talking about, like, be a politician or crap like that. Nah. Love his country, hate politicians. Oh, no. I'm not talking about join the military as in a soldier role. I meant join the military as in, like a white-collar position.
Ça m'étonnerait qu'il y ait des survivants ici.
Like, take a desk job. like as an instructor or as IT or something like that. I would still do recapitation. I wouldn't stop doing that. If anything, I would like to think it'd be more of a normal 9 to 5, but it may not. Who saw me?
Merde, il y a une patrouille là-bas.
Motherfucker. How am I supposed to know, like, around the corner there's a truck full of dudes? Jesus Christ, that was dirty. Okay, I'm glad it put me right up here. Rejoin main attack force. I don't see any main attack force, man. They're apparently 90 meters that way. I see no main attack force.
Encore des morts. Difficile d'imaginer qu'il y ait encore des survivants ici.
Thinking it's smarter to run across this log here. Like, I gotta go that way. I'm so afraid that if I pop them right here... they're gonna know exactly where I am. Just like that. Son of a bitch. This AI is such bullshit. I really hate how they have perfect aim. 50 meters out. There's not a damn thing you can do about it. This whole fucking mountain is here. God, this sucks. Man. Really do not like how everybody has infinite rockets. Why did they do that? Right when I was trying to have fun with this game. It just devolves again into the bullshit.
Tant de vies perdues.
This
Il doit pas y
fucking
avoir
game.
beaucoup de survivants ici.
Fuck this. Oh my fucking god. How am I supposed to get past this? Ah.
Ça m'étonnerait qu'il y ait des survivants ici.
I gotta fucking run. Wow, I can't believe running past them was the best option.
On s'accroche à ces
Fuck this game
petites
sometimes.
victoires, car le combat est sans fin et il faut aller de l'avant.
Oh, I went too deep, too greedily. That was on me. I thought I was backed up by my guys, but I guess I wasn't. The thing is, though, is that it's funny that I'm playing a military game while talking about also joining the military, but not as a soldier. I realize the irony now. I wasn't even thinking about it when I mentioned it earlier. I'm like, as a soldier? I'm like, no, not as a soldier. I'm like, oh, I realize I'm playing a soldier game while talking about that. That was actually not my intention. I'm not in any way inspired by all these first-person shooter games about any delusions about that. Hell no. I don't want to be a combat soldier. F that. Allons-y! During Bravely Second, that was one of my favorite things that Magnolia said. Because I love how in the Bravely Second universe, all the aliens speak French. It's like French is a moon language. I love that. I just find that so funny. I find it so charming too. That's why I can't wait for Bravely Default 2. Man, it is heavy out here. I made a tactical mistake. I went... Ugh, excuse me. I went right when I should have gone left. I zig when I should have zagged. It's not my fault for this game not having, like, battlefield lines. Which are what they're supposed to. This game and its ridiculous checkpoints. What? I saw that blow up right there. Thank you. Give me that crap.
Allez! On passe au canon suivant! À l'attaque!
Got two guys with one bullet there. Economical. These guys from all the way out there bothering us. Okay, how do these grenades I'm throwing do jack shit when they're meant to, like, take out, tanks? Come on now. Alright. Find some other way. I love how I'm just scouring for dynamite or anything. Man, good old Lee Enfield, getting the work done. Okay. Seriously though, I need an explosive. I don't want to use a Panzerfaust. Shit. I also think it takes way too long for how fast you take damage for it to recoup. I get that's a tactical choice, but man. What the hell? I hit that guy. I hit that guy. One, two. I feel the hitboxes of guys behind turrets is a little too generous. See, look! This shenanigans right here. Throw a grenade. Okay, this shit is ridiculous. Fucking God.
Ihr seid doch völlig unfähig!
Fuck. Ugh, why are my guys? I'm by myself up here. Oh, they're literally spawning on me. I'm on an enemy spawn point. No fucking wonder I'm being overwhelmed. Hey, how's it going? I'm still fighting World War II by myself. Yeah, I went up there because it was a better vantage point, and then I wonder, how come all my... Why is everybody spawning on top of me? It's because enemies are infinitely spawning right on top of me. I'm like, oh, brilliant. My guys are like over here doing jack all. And I'm trying to find grenades, anti-tank grenades, or dynamite to blow up this anti-tank gun. That's what I'm currently doing. I'm like, where the hell is any of the things that I need? Okay, there we go. Because ain't no one else gonna do it. Oh, I forgot you only throw things. Oh my god, are you serious? Maybe that'll work. Yeah, I didn't think it would work. Alright. I can't believe that worked. Good lord. I'm like, let me run up here to the enemy spawn point, jump over, throw the dynamite, get out. Okay. Ironically, this is the best mission of the game so far. It's funny, I was so pessimistic, and still am for the most part. But the story, this one's more interesting. The character is a little bit more interesting. The scenarios are more... The first couple of objectives felt like Battlefield. Where it's like, take this hill, hold down this fort, break this checkpoint, secure this strategic point. Like, okay, this feels more like Battlefield. So this part, it's late. It's like 1944. Tail end. This is where the French... We're playing the French now. Where we're pushing into Berlin. And you play as these guys. They're a pair of brothers. And, you know, they're French. They want to fight for their country, reclaim it. But just like how it was in many parts of the world, they were treated like second-class citizens, even in this part of the world. But they still want to fight, and so these are brothers right here. One doesn't want to fight as much. One's like, yeah, let's go, let's kill the Germans, take back France, and the other one's like, we need to hold on, play this a little bit more conservative. Like, I also don't want to die because I have a wife and kids. And honestly, their story is much more interesting than the other two that I've got. So it's also more grounded. Like I believe this happened. Where even in France in 1944, black soldiers were treated lesser, even though they were fighting for the same country for the same thing. And these are the dragoons, by the way. I love it when I look at the historical French dragoons versus, like, you know, the Final Fantasy Lancer class. To me, these guys were much more interesting.
Imagine leur tête si on arrivait à se faufiler par arrière et qu'on le capture. Ce serait quelque chose à raconter à nos enfants, Elisa. Surtout toi qui es très vieux maintenant. À leurs yeux, on passera pour des rois.
Because basically, the French were so desperate to just get the Germans out, and they're like, we'll throw anybody at them, even you guys. It's like, what do you mean, you guys? And so they threw them into, like, these crazy situations, like, yo, you need to take these anti-air guns on this hill. Like, we haven't been able to take this hill. And they're like, are you effing joking? But they still got it done.
Démé, prends ce lance-fusée. Tire avec pour nous dire d'attaquer.
Oh, I was hoping I had a flare gun that would give me infinite rockets, like what every single German soldier has, apparently. You're in command now. Destroy village defenses. So, I wonder if I take all of this land without ever signaling any of my dudes.
C'est la guerre. Une grosse machine dégueulasse. Sans répit. Sans pitié. Une fois dedans, il n'y a que deux solutions.
If
La mort.
you know what, this little hamlet looks just like the hamlet we fought in I'm out of dynamite. In Battlefield 1 when we were the tank. And we had to, like, you know, we were playing a little tank platoon. This town looks almost exactly like it. I know European hamlets kind of look alike, perhaps, but, yeah. Fortunately, I have a silenced rifle that I kept on me. Alright, so let's see. They have at least one tank. At least one. I don't see any field guns with which to destroy it. Actually, the other two parts... Because that's an objective point. Alright, so there's the alarm. Right next to the tank, of course. If things get too dicey, we'll shoot the flare up and ask our dudes to come in. But we are, as always, the first and last line of defense. Shout out to the Lee Enfield rifle. This thing gets work done in this game. You know, Lee Enfield rifle's been around, obviously. And there are many games that use it, but it is decidedly better than most guns in this game. We have to be careful because the AI still cheats. They still can see forever. We are just assessing our situation and seeing what the other two objective points are. Because I actually don't know what the other two... Okay. I want to get the alarm out, first and foremost. It's got two guys on it. They're not paying attention to me. I might be able to flank. I riled them up, but I don't think they saw me too much. Speaking of field gun... Shit, the tank's moving. I'm so lucky that the tank decided to approach us from its side and not the front.
Voilà. Ce canon n'est pas prêt de tirer maintenant.
Ooh, I need this. That's exactly what I needed. Oh, are my dudes storming anyway? Oh, they are. My dudes are storming anyway. Alright, well, I got rid of the tank for you guys. You're welcome. Alright, so they're retreating back over there. Alright, so a couple things I noticed too. If there's a guy with a little crosshair on him, he appears for a second, he's a guy who will whip out a flare gun and get the rockets to shoot at you. If there's a guy with a little rocket, he does have a symbol that shows up showing he's about to use a rocket launcher. This I hate. If there's a gun embankment over there, for some odd reason, even though you have a perfect clear shot to their head, they're invincible to headshots. I don't understand why. Alright, we need to get rid of that gun. I agree. I'm working on it. And by we, they of course mean me. Whoa, that was really close. I saw that. I hate when I reload when I'm out in the middle. I'm technically capturing the bastion from this corner here. Little hot, little hot, little hot. I need to get that alarm out. I know there's a guy up there.
Les Allemands avaient tout, et on n'avait presque rien. On devait donc voler leur équipement pour l'utiliser contre eux. Il y avait forcément des explosifs dans les environs.
Ironically, this is where a shotgun would be a little bit more useful. Alright, guys. Let's go. There was a guy in there with me? I didn't even see him. Oh my goodness. Oh. Am I inside the bastion now? Oh no, it just spawned me out. Okay, that's fine. Did it just say reinforcements is coming? Oh, I just now noticed that I have a Panzerfaust. equipped as a tool. They're shelling me. Ooh. Also, this chapter started with a really good quote that I really like. Oh shit, grenade. I'll tell you as soon as I stop dying. Guys, I really need you to get up here and start taking this bastion with me. Shit. God damn. Ugh. So the quote they started with, the character here was saying, not everything written down is truth, and not all truth is written down. Like, I couldn't agree more. And, you know, like, this charge up this hill would be a lot nicer if all these guys were helping me. I don't know why I'm complaining. It's been like this the entire war. I literally have to fight the entire World War II by myself. Ugh. Whoa. Fucker snuck up on me. Banana, don't you realize that's how wisdom is accumulated? Oh, I see. Wisdom is accumulated by making mistakes and learning from them. Another saying that I'm a big fan of is something somebody once told me. We're like, wow, you're such a good manager. Why do you end up making so many, like, you know, good choices? Like, how do you get that? Like, it's very simple. I made a lot of bad choices early on and learned from them. I learned never to repeat them. So by making lots of bad mistakes and learning from them is how you learn how to make good choices in life. Problem is, a lot of people don't sometimes survive to see those second chances. Shit, son of a bitch. So you see how that guy flashed like a little, like 3 shells? Yeah. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. Really wish I could pivot these field guns around and use it against these guys. But they will not let you do that. Or will they? I actually haven't tried. I like how their positions are getting overrun, but they all turn to fire on me. Just me. Just the one guy out here. They're like, all guns on that sniper out there. Alright. Alright, game. I'm clearly hitting this guy. Oh shit, I hate that. I feel like there's so much clipping against invisible walls and edges on this game. Where I'm like, I'm shooting a guy and like my bullet isn't hitting anything. And it happens a lot when I'm crouched down next to like the edge of something. For some silly reason, edges in this game. They're like, oh, well, just from like join a vantage point and start, you know, doing all this sort of stuff. How? When literally every single German soldier prioritizes you the moment you are here. Like, look at this shit. It's ridiculous. Look, I hit that guy, but the game's saying I didn't hit that guy. Sorry, that was one of my guys. Also, what the fuck are you doing? I couldn't take a chance. Sorry, man. My vision was blurry. I couldn't see. I didn't know what color you were wearing. No pun intended. This is the part where I hate because this is where the AI is bad. All these guys try to charge this hill, and they all have their guns transfixed on just me. Golly, the AI in this game is so bad. This is the best mission still, but that's only because the other two were just shit tier. And this at least had a slightly better story to go alongside it. Also, infinite spawn points, I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. As for like, we don't know how to create good encounters, so we're just gonna have the enemy infinitely spawn. Where the hell did he go? Alright, there's a guy. Alright, take two. Bullshit! I fired first. Does anybody want to help me hold this damn bastion? I'm holding it. Nobody's firing on you guys. What the fuck? See that shit right there? Hate that. And you can't melee guys. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. You can't melee guys. All of a sudden, when you melee guys, it pokes them with a knife. It doesn't, like, one-shot them. I do not understand that. Also, when I turn off the siren, all of a sudden you guys want to come up and roll with me. I see how it is. That big scary siren was scaring you off. There was a shotgun here.
Mes frères, nous allons repousser les lignes ennemies. Ce sera pas facile.
What do you mean it ain't easy? No one doing any damn work here. Alright, now we gotta get the chateau. Alright, so first things first, we clearly need to disable the alarm because my dudes are not going to come in as long as the alarm is active for some reason. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, son of a bitch. Shit. And of course they could throw grenades forever, because that of course is part of it. Everyone knew the Germans were legendary for their grenade throwing abilities. Oh no, my dudes are charging. Do I have to kill like X many dudes? Damn, there's armor rolling in.
J'y vais. C'est parti. On doit se débarrasser de ces canons.
Okay. What I could definitely say is that this may be a pretty bad game, but everything's better with friends. When did I pick up smoke grenades?
Allez, garde ton calme.
Alright, I did the thing, guys. Fucking flame guys, they're still the worst. Shit, field gun. They got a fix on me. Where are all my guys? Seriously, where are all you guys? Oh, you're over there. The hell are you waiting for? Chateau's right there. We're scared of the big, loud gun. Reminds me of Thunder and I hate it. Okay. I can't tell if that's blood or paint that's on the butt of my gun. Okay, we're going in. Okay, that was shenanigans. I shot you.
Alors qu'on se battait pour forcer l'entrée. Une partie de moi espérait qu'on n'y arriverait jamais.
Alright, I'm here. Knock, knock.
Ça ne bouge pas. Poussez plus fort.
There's gonna be a tank that rams through. I would not be this close to a door they're about to use a field gun on. Damn, the balls on these guys. You would be so deaf. Rip eardrums.
On y va.
You know, we captured a castle in Battlefield 1 as well, as the Australians. And
On n'était pas des soldats d'élite super équipés comme les Allemands. Contrairement à eux,
oh, one slow
on
motion.
n'avait pas d'armes de pointe
Something dramatic's gonna happen.
et on s'était pas entraîné pendant des années. Mais on avait la volonté. La volonté de gagner quel que soit le prix.
Everything's horribly slow motion. I can't do anything.
Ça a coûté cher. En sang, en sacrifice et en vie humaine.
Are we dying or? I got the gunner. Damn, scripted deaths. Or maybe not? That might could be rolled over by a tank. That's kind of cool. They tied logs to the side of it as armor. That's kind of cool, actually. Smart strategy. Oh, Jesus. There goes my brother. Oh no, my brother is alive. I was just another dude.
Idrissa.
Damn, my bro died. Or no, my brother was the one who sacrificed himself for the tank. I thought we were gonna die. I thought that was the end of the chapter. Okay. We're in this still. Oh, I should have looked around for some extra ammo. It's too quiet. This is an ambush. Oh, so they're using it as a field hospital.
d'Idrissa. Nous sommes des rois.
Oh, another thing is that this chapter actually had good music to it too. That was nice. I was like, oh, they felt like scoring this one for once.
Messieurs, nous sommes fiers de vous et de ce que vous avez accompli.
Merci, mon commandant.
Faisons une photo pour la postérité.
I don't know where the rest of you guys were when we were taking this hill. You sure as shit weren't there.
Quand l'armée française a libéré Paris,
I'm about to say, it's like they pulled out the 3 black guys there. I'm like, that's the whole point.
noir,
So the French, even though the black troops
ils ont remplacé par des
served so much, they basically kind of disavowed their accomplishments.
familiers. Mais moi,
And you know what? I found that's a very believable
je sais ce
story.
qu'on a fait. Et à quel prix. Et j'en suis fier.
This was definitely a good, grounded story. I like this. It reminds me of, you know, American Civil War when there were slaves that were conscripted to battle under the promise, allegedly, of their freedom. And some did do that. But they kind of disavow those forces too, saying, oh no, we didn't use, you know, black people as soldiers. I'm like, yeah, they totally did. So out of the 3 so far, without a doubt, this is the best one. Not just in terms of mission structure, but also the story being told. Definitely the best one. This is more in line with what I expect. I kind of wish we had more of this. They weren't trying to cast this as like Black Superman. Like, you know, Norwegian Superwoman over there. I'm like, this is just too far-fetched for me to take seriously. That was a good one. I am now better than 91% of the community for this game who didn't even bother to play those 3 chapters. And honestly, that's kind of sad. Because that proves my point that they also know that 90% of their people are not going to play this campaign. So, if they do stupid, cheap, low-effort stuff like the AI in this game, nobody's really gonna care. Like, people like me obviously care, but we're clearly in the vast minority. 90% of people who play this game did not beat it. Did not even play the 3 chapters so far. Oh my goodness. What does that say? I mean, they know their audience, but it's like, which would you rather have? No campaign or a low-effort campaign? It's like, pick your poison. Neither one's a great option. I can say this, though, like, if there wasn't a campaign, I wouldn't be playing this. Because, I said this earlier, and I'll say it again. When Battlefield 5 first came out, I played the beta. Because I'm like, maybe they're doing better with this. Because Battlefield 1 was taking steps in a direction I didn't like in the multiplayer. Like, they got rid of progression and replaced it with terrible loot boxes. And customization was basically gone. And I was like, this is terrible. I hope they go back to how things used to be in Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5, even worse and more stripped down. There's like, I remember when it first came out, like in the beta, there were like 10 guns. And 5 of them were terrible pistols. It's like, what is up with this? What is up with the terrible selection? There were 2 planes. And they were basically the same plane, just you're reskinned based on which side you were on. There were like 3 armored vehicles. It was like, this is so bare bones. I cannot believe how terrible this is. Now, it's been a couple of years. They've doubtlessly added way more stuff. I'm sure it's a bigger, more involved game now. But, ugh. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me know if the stream's still going up like normal, or if it's once again claiming that it's logged off for some weird reason, technical reason. Okay, everything going all good, good. By the way, slight shade, not against, this has nothing to do with Battlefield. I watched some early reviews from sources I like on Final Fantasy VII, and I knew it. I called it, I knew it. I knew the game was going to be like 20, 30 hours long. I knew it wasn't going to be any open world, open environment, open city thing. It's going to be like very small zones. I knew that's how they were going to do it. And the reason why I knew is because that's the only thing they know how to do. Square Enix has never made open cities with their Final Fantasy team. They don't know how. When people were saying, oh, we're going to have like a fully realized Midgar, you can go and see, it's going to be a big open city, lots of detail. I'm like, where are you getting this from? They don't know how to make cities. They've never made one-to-one cities in any game. The only things that come close are Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 15 and technically the MMOs. But those games were just like, they were big, like, cities, quote-unquote. You couldn't really go into places. You couldn't really, it wasn't really highly detailed. You know, it was just, you could walk up to a guy and he was the shop. It was just a glorified way of walking around areas to make it simulate that you're actually in a city. It was very much a front. And so I'm like, I knew that's how they were going to do it. However, because I know this is a controversial point, I love how they're playing the main theme now. I will still never begrudge, this is going back to Battlefield now, I will never begrudge Battlefield's theme, because Battlefield's main theme, I love Battlefield's main theme. I love almost every rendition of it. The futuristic ones not so much, but the classic ones with the percussion and the marches, great. I mean, it's Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14. You can't, even if you don't, they're not traditional in the console gaming sense, they're still games, you know, very successful, very popular ones, I might add. So to me, Final Fantasy has always prided itself on every game being a little bit different, which it mostly is. If you want to criticize a game for trying something different, I don't know if I would do that. Like even Dragon Quest X, for example, was an MMO. We'll never know because it was never released in America. But Dragon Quest X, yeah, it was an MMO. I wouldn't be too quick to write it off, is all I'm saying. I also want to go back and say I'm not gonna knock Final Fantasy VII. I've avoided spoilers, but also people are actively avoiding spoilers too. Nobody's saying at what story point it goes up to. I'm sure people online have said so, but I'm not actively seeking that information. But from what I can tell, it goes, like, you play through, obviously, Cloud, Tifa, Barret, and then Aerith. So I'm like, okay, so am I to interpret that as it goes up to the part where you infiltrate the Shinra building, and then you find Red 13 and escape, but you don't play as him yet? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like it goes to basically the first part that I think is the cleanest chopping point, which is disc 1, you play in Midgar, second one, you play till Aerith dies, and the third disc is mostly endgame. If they kind of chop it up the same way, it wouldn't surprise me. It seems like they did go that way, or at least with this part 1. Obviously, I don't have the game, but I will not criticize the game on its length. That is one of my tenets that I do not criticize a game for. I have a half-written, like many other things, I have a half-written digital hindsight on dumb things I feel people judge games on, and one of them is game length. To me, you should never knock a game's length against it. Because game length is not indicative of its overall quality. Now, the quality of what you got is indicative of its quality. If you feel there should have been more, or you feel that it's dragging, that's a pacing problem. That's a writing problem. But you shouldn't say, oh, the game's like only 4 hours long? It can't be a good game. That's not true. That is not true. There are many games that can be done in a single night, and they're great games. High-profile ones, and indie games as well. A lot of indie games aren't that long. They don't need to be. But does that make them bad? Of course not. But then some people are like, oh, well, that's just an indie game. Okay, well, that's the second part of my thing. You should never judge a game based on its production budget, or its studio size, or its dev time. None of that matters. What matters is the final product that comes out. Judge it on its own merits. Now, if there were problems, and you want to know the answer for why there were problems, you want to go back and be like, oh, well, they changed writers 3 times, or where the director had to bow out, so they changed it. Okay, well, that explains why there was a problem, but that doesn't change the fact that there's a problem. So, I don't know. That's... You can see why some of my editorials have struggled to come out, because a lot of times I feel like they devolve into accusational rants, where I'm shouting at somebody, but not anybody's particular. And that's not the tone I want to take. Wait, how come it says resume? Was I not over? Was that not over? Why does it say resume? Resume. What am I resuming? No, this is... Okay, this is just the did you know. Yeah, but the other two didn't say anything in terms of collectibles, or were there only challenging collectibles on this one? That can't be true. We'll start it up. If it replays everything, then we'll know. And we'll continue on the last one. For example, with Resident Evil 3, one of the critiques I hear from many reviews is it's good, but it's kind of on the short side. I'm like, that's not relevant. Short compared to what? And I would also like to point out the original was very short because, and I've said this a million times, it was an expansion that was released as a full game because Sony contractually obligated Capcom to put a third game on their system when Capcom was trying to release Code Veronica for Sega. Code Veronica was originally supposed to be 3, and Nemesis was supposed to be an expansion to 2. That's how it originally went down. But Sony was like, no, you have to do it this way. So I guess... It says resume, but now we're back here. I guess we'll watch this again. Yeah, Skyrim's plot, for sake of a better word, is very, very short. But, you know, it just has a lot of nonsense. Like bone salts you have to collect. Can I skip this cutscene? Unskippable cutscenes. I'm pressing all the buttons. I'm also trying to figure out... I'm in the middle of writing a Fire Emblem quick guide. I want it to be like a little field manual. I want it to be bite-sized. And I want a title that conveys that. But I also want it to be a little bit cheeky as well, because it's going to be very low format. And I'm juggling around with a couple of names. Things that I feel right. One is TLDW, which is Too Long Didn't Watch. It's like TLDW, Good Enough Essential Field Guide for Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, that would be the title. And I'll basically, hey, just let you know, this is not a character, this is not a long form character analysis video, this is not a tier list, this is not a discussion about the best units, this is just the most relevant information for you to get in and get out, enjoy the game, knowing what is the most ideal stuff for optimization, and that's it. It's just quick, bullet point to the point. And so, I don't know, I want to convey it. I also want to make it, all, like I said, on the short end, where it's going to be like, bop, 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 bop. The name of the game is Speed and Mobility. And this Fire Emblem, for example, it's not about base stats. It's not about even classes, really. And it's not about skills. It is 100% about speed and, to that effect, mobility and avoid/attack speed. That is absolutely the name of this game. And then keep moving on from there. Where it's like, if you want to assemble the A-team, cool. This is the best archer. This is the best cavalry tank. This is the best dodge tank. This is the best bow knight. It's like, these are just those units. So if you want to ignore everyone else, that's fine. If you want to know why, go watch any of the thousands of character analysis videos on the internet. I'm just here to tell you exactly, like, let's just get to the point here. But I wanted like a good all killer no filler name. But also something to show that it's very like, hey, there's no fancy graphics here. There's no long discussion. I'm just here to quickly tell you, in and out, all killer, no filler. This is what you need to know about this game. And I feel that direct information is something somebody like me would want to know. Where it's like, okay, when you're in the monastery, you need to do the rounds. That means you need to sing with your main healer. You need to answer your advice box. You need to grow flowers so that way you can give them as gifts and raise motivation. Like, these are the tasks you need to do every single time. Also, check your abilities and check your proficiencies because they change. So it's like, just get in and out. Just the base information so that way I'm not boring people to death. You get that. It's concise. I figured that's the way I want to write my guys. It's like, this is just bullet point how you need this information. I don't stream all the games that I play either. There are a lot of weird knick-knack odd games that I play to the side that you guys never see, because there's like, these are just weird little games that I like playing. And because I play them at a very slow pace, I don't think they ever make for good streaming. Not that I think I ever make for good streaming, but it's something that I play a lot of those weird, obscure RPGs that nobody ever bothers with. Most of them from Nippon Ichi. Nippon Ichi is one of my favorite publishers. They have so many weird JRPGs. I love it. And I'm using JRPG not as a slang, which a lot of people do. I'm using it literally as its literal definition, is an RPG from Japan. Yeah, Disgaea 1 and La Pucelle Tactics were good, but they've gone on to make so many other things, not just in that series, but other things as well. Like Witch in the Hundred Knight. That game has such dark endings, where I'm like, wow, they deal with some very sensitive issues here, and you never know it. I also love it because a lot of the translators, you can tell, have fun because they're like, we know we're not going to sell more than like 100,000 copies of this game, so let's just get away with some very crass or dirty or possibly offensive humor, and I kind of like that. I like where you can be risque. And I don't want to stream it for that same reason, because I don't want to be like, haha, I enjoy this joke they made. And you know how it is. Some people just take it out of context and go wild with it. Not that I'm, famous enough for anybody to make a big deal out of, but you just don't want to stick your foot in your mouth. Okay, so there was no resume. It literally is just go back and collect letters and crap. Alright, The Last Tiger. Let's see what this is about. Command a Tiger tank in the last stand against U.S. forces as they push towards the Rhine. Fight a defensive battle without hope. Well, that's a great way to start. For the command seat of one of the most feared vehicles of the war. Interesting. So we're actually playing as a German soldier. You really don't see that too often. I appreciate the risk that they're taking on that. They're trying something different. Like, hey, there's heroes on both sides. Let's do something different. I respect that. I absolutely respect that. Because you don't see that enough. You don't see perspective. It's a dangerous thing to only get one side of the story. Hopefully this is not a terrible tank mission. Alright, Battlefield 5, this is your chance to finish strong. You had 2 botches, and you had 1 pretty decent one. Let's go. Watch this be like a 10-minute thing where it's just wave defense until I die. And that's the reason why we beat the Tigers. Mass production, baby. Yeah, our Sherman tanks were pieces of shit compared to the Tigers, but we outnumbered them like 100 to 1, and also we were faster. British tanks were that same way, where British tanks were just faster, so they could outmaneuver it. So yes, they were more powerful, but they were more slow. Again, sometimes speed is the name of the game. It's like Fire Emblem. In this version of Fire Emblem, that is.
Als ich ein Kind war, wurde eine Gruppe von Jungs im Dorfladen beim Klauen erwischt. Mein Vater war außer sich, als er davon erfuhr. Aber ich habe doch gar nichts gestohlen. Vielleicht, sagte er. Aber du warst dort. Mein Name ist Peter Müller. Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
German is one of those languages that it's just, I don't know, to me it kind of sounds cool. Especially their numbers. The way they say their numbers just fascinates me. German's a very cool language. I like listening to people speak German. Just like when we talk about Russians. Like, man, I really like hearing the Russian accent speak English, but I like hearing just the native German language. I've only known one kid from Germany, and that was back in early high school. It's like a transfer kid. He was good. He was damn good at chess, too. I never beat him. Not once.
Kommandanten können Sie es eben im Gegensatz zu Fahren nicht leisten, jeden Mist auszusprechen, der in den Sinn kommt, Schröder.
Ja, Kommandant.
Auf Ihre Position.
I like this setup where they're humanizing it. They're not be like, all Nazis were assholes. I'm like, no, there were decent ones. Just be real.
Ich habe ihn nur daran erinnert, wer wir sind, Kerz.
It's like in the very first mission where like a good soldier dehumanizes the enemy. I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. Machines do that.
What?
Yeah, I agree with you. The Nazi party was not the German military. I agree with you 100%. Like, don't blame the military for, like, whatever political system the government had in power at the time. That wasn't their job. They were listening to politicians just like the soldiers on our end do. It's like, yo, it's my job to unfortunately listen to these politicians do their thing. So I 100% agree that we need to add context to that.
Weil wir uns nicht zurückziehen. Wir rücken vor.
Don't hate the soldier, hate the war kind of deal.
Was passiert mit denen? Die kriegen das, was sie verdienen. Scheiß Feiglinge.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
And I like this because he's an older guy who's kind of been around since before this crap, and he's like, yeah, don't get caught up in this young blood. I like this sort of storytelling. Good context. So far, they're starting off on the right foot here.
Anton 1, vorrücken und unsere Streitkräfte am Bahnhof unterstützen. Anton 1, rücken Sie umgehend zum Bahnhof vor.
Befehl bestätigen, Hartmann.
Ja, Kommandant. Anton 1 an Oberkommando gehen jetzt in Position. Anton 1 geht jetzt in Position.
This tank drives pretty smooth. Still a little more zoomed in than I would prefer, but pretty good.
Kerz, nach rechts. Wir müssen sie flankieren.
Come on, tank, let's go.
Kommandant. Sie scheinen sich schnell zu nähern, Kommandant.
Get over this. You're a tank.
Die Augen offen, damit uns das nicht
I know it's like, I want you to go around. I'm like, yeah, you say that, but I'm a tank.
Feindliche Infanterie voraus.
Whoa. This thing swivels super slick. This is a slippery aiming. I don't know if I like that.
Über diese Stellungen. Station voraus.
Alle Mann bereithalten.
thing moves so fast? It's like... It's like it snaps a little bit. Repair. How do I repair? Oh, you press up to repair. Cool. Okay. Good to know.
Gute Arbeit, Anton 1. Wir wussten, gegen einen Tiger haben Sie keine Chance. Rücken Sie jetzt auf der Hauptstraße vor und helfen Sie der Infanterie.
It's like these guys are just... It's like you said. It's like these guys are just defending their families, their home. You know, they're fighting for the same values.
Sherman, Sie rücken vor. Treffer!
Das war's. Die Panzer sind
Get out of here, tree.
Gute Arbeit.
Rah. That tree fell in such a comical way.
Wir müssen alle amerikanischen Truppen ausschalten. Weiter auf der Straße. Zerstören wir ihre Verteidigungen.
I feel like the tank is trying to auto aim for me. In fact, I think that's exactly what's happening. I think the tank is trying to auto aim.
Die Amerikaner laufen davon. Stefan hat Ihnen Angst gemacht, hä? 12 Uhr, genau vor uns.
There we go. That's some of that battlefield destruction that I come to expect. Chill out here, repair real fast. Man, you take a lot of damage fast. During the tutorial mission, there was a slight bit when we were flying, and I was so aghast with how they changed the flying from the smooth, fun experience in the first Battlefield 1 to this. I was like, why are the controls so awful? Why did they change it? And I'm like, God, I hope there's not a flying mission in this game. And thank God there hasn't been. And that's me, somebody who loves dogfighting. I love dogfighting, and Battlefield 5 did a garbage job of it. I am so sad to say. Broke my heart. Why are you chilling out here? Don't stick your head out. Somebody like me is looking to snipe you.
Da ist die Artillerie.
Wir haben hier eine Menge Gegner, Kommandant. Gnade ist Schwäche. Ich werde meine Mutter stolz machen. Ziel bewegt sich noch.
Artilleriestellung zerstört. Jetzt die andere. Das war die letzte Artilleriestellung.
Oh, I can't repair when I'm under fire, apparently. Makes sense, I guess.
Sie sind erledigt.
Alles erledigt.
I see you, little tank. I'm getting ya. Oh, you're just an armored car. See ya.
Anton 1. Feindliche Panzerdivision versucht, den Platz zu umstellen. Sofort
I don't want to speak too fast, but so far I'm liking this mission.
Gott, das ist eine Falle.
This feels like a battlefield mission.
Kerz.
Alright, so we can't go there.
Von Deckung zu Deckung. Schröder, Hartmann, ich will, dass jeder Schuss sitzt.
Gotta protect this square. But yeah, like right now, this is the part where the Russians, the Americans, the French, pretty much everybody, we're just bolting straight for Berlin now. So we're, you know, obviously we know we don't win, but yeah, this is the last line of defense basically.
Treffer, Treffer.
Ziel ausgeschaltet.
I think my favorite iteration of the storming of Berlin is probably in Call of Duty World at War. Love that mission. That was a really cool mission. Cut that a little close. I like how they're just yelling at the mechanic. Hurry up, fix faster! Sorry, I'm working on it. What, you think we're just some American soldier who wins the war by themselves? Get real. That was too close, I agree. Stop poking your head out all the time, man. Come on. Commandant.
Ja, Kommandant.
You say a scout, but... okay. That little roadblock would not have defeated my tank. Get out of here. There we go. Get out of here. Yeah. When I talk with people who absolutely adore Death Stranding, I say, you know what? To this day, I still think about the profound impact Death Stranding has left on me. I absolutely have to admit that Death Stranding is something that to this day still lingers in my mind. What I don't tell them is that it is a constant source of ridicule. And I find every opportunity to make fun of it. But hey, you know, context. That's what we call compromise. It's like, oh, I love that game. Love making fun of it. I don't tell people I love the game. I just tell people, you know, there were a lot of points to this day. Are they surrendering? They're not firing on me, so I'll let them live. He isn't on here too often, but one of my real-life friends who on here you may recognize as Blinding Shadows, he and I agree that we've come to the understanding that Death Stranding is technically, it's just a tech demo. Kojima just created a tech demo and then tried to make a story that fit in the context of it. I'm like, you know what? I believe that. I believe it's just a glorified tech demo that didn't have any story or content in it, and so he just kind of wrote up some half-assed story and rolled with it, and then sold it. And the reason why I believe that is not too cynical is, let us not forget, Kojima is also the man who sold us the tech demo for Metal Gear Solid 5 as a $30 full retail release. He has sold tech demos before. Don't think he wouldn't do it again. And that was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Because people played that, and they're like, I spent $30 to play 1 hour? And he's like, yeah, you should be excited for the full game. I'm like, what the fuck? This should have been free! It's like, congratulations, you paid for a demo. And it literally was a demo. You can't even call it a quote-unquote full game. It was a demo. Shit. Those rockets did some damage. That was close. Damn it! I thought I lived. Honestly, if they charged $60, people probably would have paid for it. And in all his hubris, because a lot of people thought, oh, it's so cool, like, you know, it's an allegory for how he wanted to get out of Konami. You can rescue Kojima in that game. He put himself in the game as a mission to be rescued. I'm like, oh, isn't that cute? Ha ha ha. The thing I like to point out to people is that a lot of people talk about, oh, Kojima's so mistreated over there, blah blah blah. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there were times when, like, you know, things were very rough, and maybe they didn't they said a mean thing to Kojima, or they had disagreements. But that's the corporate atmosphere. Name anybody who's worked for any corporation where they disagree with or have arguments or some nonsense. I'm getting pelted. And also, I always like to tell people, doesn't it strike you as weird? As weird. That we get nobody else's... We don't get anybody else's version of that story except for Kojima. Nobody else corroborates his statements. Nobody else says it. So we get somebody who's an artiste complaining that he's suffering under these terrible work conditions. But we have nobody else but the artiste who can actually verify that statement. I'm not saying maybe he didn't have a bad time. It could be true. But I'm just finding it awfully suspicious that nobody else is saying the same thing. And I also find it funny, it's like, it's really easy to dehumanize a company. It's very easy. But you're telling me everybody in the entire company, even the janitor, was really, really mean to Kojima. Not a single person. Every day was living hell for him. Poor, poor Kojima. He's the only person ever you mistreated in any workplace ever. What a poor guy. Let's all feel bad for Kojima. Give me a goddamn break. I don't love the guy, but I hate whining in that context. And part of me is like, well, if you don't like it, why don't you just leave? And he did. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be so great when he leaves. You're right. This is going to be the amazing games that he makes. And this is what we got. Hey, just jump there. I can't go into cover. There's nowhere to go. I'm trying to hide behind the carcasses of the dead to repair myself. Okay, here we go. And Konami also squashed any rumors saying that there were Silent Hill games in production. So, and that's fine by me, because like I stated earlier, unless it's the OG Silent Hill crew, I don't want Kojima touching that license. I really don't. I didn't like it for PT, and I wouldn't like it now. He is not a man who would make a good... Now, don't get me wrong, he'll make some interesting, freaky... That's rockets. Red smoke means rockets. Incoming volley. I'm gonna hide him in this bridge. Nope, cutscene. I'm gonna die in a cutscene now. Run, little tiger tank, run.
Auf Schäden überprüfen. Jawohl. Statusbericht.
Hier werden wir uns nicht lange halten können. Jemand muss da raus uns einen Weg suchen.
Schicken Sie Hartmann.
reden Sie da? Der Mann ist nicht in der Verfassung.
Vertrauen Sie auf unsere Stärke. Das waren
Oh, this is the part where we get out on foot. I want to be in the tank.
Dort nochmal.
Sie sind so wichtig. Das können wir nicht riskieren. Und ich bediene das Geschütz.
Dann mache ich das eben.
Nein, Sie müssen fahren. Aber Hartmann, der ist doch eh eingeschlagen. Austauschbar.
Wollen Sie ihn wirklich da rausschicken?
Hartmann!
Ja?
Steigen Sie aus dem Panzer. Suchen Sie uns da draußen einen Weg ins Freie.
Ach Gott, nochmal, Müller. Nein, der Mann ist nicht in der Verfassung.
Bitte, Peter. Ich kann wirklich...
Raus aus dem Panzer, Hartmann. Ich möchte, dass Sie Ihre Pflicht tun.
Kid's gonna die. I like that reaction from the driver. Very human. I like it.
Das gilt für jeden hier.
That action spoke way louder than any words. Watch him get shot immediately. Don't shoot the kid. I was keeping an eye on him. He's gonna get run over by a tank. I'm actually really compelled by this scene. I'm surprised. This is good direction. And we're gonna lose sight of him.
Wo ist Hauptmann? Wo ist der hin?
Der desertiert.
Das wissen Sie doch gar nicht.
Ruhe! Hören Sie das?
Bewegung auf 9 Uhr. Und auf 12 Uhr.
Well, there's your armored columns.
Bringen Sie uns raus hier. Wir können doch Hartmann nicht hier lassen. Raus, los!
Kommando an Anton 1. Rücken Sie zur vorgeschobenen Basis vor. Zerstören Sie sämtliche
Man, we left a kid.
für unsere Truppenbewegungen. Und stoßen Sie an der
Look at that clipping through that car. Oh my god.
Verstanden. Oberkommando.
Oberkommando Ende.
Sie wissen, was Sie zu tun haben, Kerz.
Got some music now. Keep moving, keep driving.
Sie sind getroffen, fahren aber doch!
Always wonder what the hell was in German. He got me on that. Shit, we are exposed.
Nicht gut. Nicht gut. Ziel bewegt sich noch.
Strengen Sie sich gefälligst an!
I know I'm dying, but that doesn't mean I'm dying easy. Shit, did they flank me? What hit me?
Feindbeschuss. Verflucht.
No, little armored car.
Melde volle Kampfbereitschaft. Mitgliedschaft, Kommandant.
Kann er nicht einfach Ja sagen?
Jeez, that was a whiff. Damn, I can't leave a shot on that.
Ziel ausgeschaltet.
Okay.
Startklar!
We're dead.
Deckung, schnell!
Scheiße! Komm schon, Stefan, das ist jetzt echt kein guter Zeitpunkt.
Können Sie es reparieren?
Vielleicht. Dauert aber eine Weile.
Was ist mit dem Panzerknacker?
Bringen Sie Stefan wieder zum Laufen. Ich schlage mich zu den Flugabwehrgeschützen durch.
Du bist verrückt, Peter.
Außerhalb des Panzers war die Welt...
Narrator.
Geruch und Blut,
That's
Tod.
cute.
Ohne meine stählerne Hülle unterschied mich nichts von den Leichen in den Ruinen. Ich war keine gedankenlose, allmächtige Maschine, sondern einfach nur ein verwundbarer Mann voller Fehler.
They're speaking English. I can understand them. What do I got? Not much. Let's see if the Americans also have infinite rocket launchers and rockets. If that happens, I call shenanigans. Our G.I. Joes did not have that much shit. I'm not going to use these filthy American weapons. I'm going to stick with my proud German efficient weapons. Gotta roleplay right. Heck yeah, Panzerfaust. I'm not gonna lie, that's very tongue-in-cheek because German weapons are better than American ones, for the most part. Okay. There's a tank out there. We'll see what we can get with this, though. Let's see what we're up against. I like how magically the Americans aren't like... Okay, well, of course they do. I say there better not be some stupid siren nonsense in Germany. And they'd be like, the Americans have called for reinforcements. It's like, don't even give me that nonsense. There's a tank coming right now. I might as well pull out a rocket. Shit, I'm out of ammo already. Alright. Wow, did I really one-shot that tank? Man, I must have hit it in a sweet spot. I should probably take his dynamite. Just in case. Shit. Come on, there's like 2 guys out there. I can take this. How come I can't switch weapons? How come I can't shoot? What is going on? I can't aim and I can't shoot. I can enter the gun though. What the hell? Was my game glitching? Whatever, we're rolling with it. You're gone.
This'll do the trick.
Just my luck that
Wie haben Sie mich gefunden? Bin einfach dem Feuerwerk gefolgt.
I still can't fire my gun. The game's glitched. What the hell? I can't fire a gun. I can't. None of the buttons do anything. Okay, I can switch weapons apparently. Wow, go figure. Running into a glitch during the one mission that I'm actually enjoying. Oh my god. Well, I don't understand what it went on. Like, I went downstairs and all of a sudden, like, I couldn't fire the gun. It's like I don't get it. Okay, well now everything's working. Don't leave me like you left Hartman. How do I get in? How do I get in? How do I enter the tank? Okay, cutscene. I know, I always find the most amazing glitches. Every time. Every time. I'm just so proficient at finding glitches. Maybe I can't make a life as a QA tester. I wouldn't want to be a QA tester. I hear it's a miserable experience.
Peter, wenn die so weitermachen, haben wir ein Problem.
Alright, kid.
Wir müssen irgendwas tun.
I don't know, I just need to get out of here so I can repair myself. At least we didn't encounter a, you know, an hour-long invincible boss.
Ich arbeite dran. Reparaturen erledigt.
Wie haben Sie Stefan repariert?
Ah, ich musste nur ein wenig basteln. Aber das Funkgerät ist hinüber.
Are we gonna run into Hartman? I get the feeling there's gonna be a story element that's leading to.
Das ist die Basis.
Was jetzt?
This is the base?
Geben Sie mir Deckung, wenn möglich. Ich suche die Dokumente.
Destroy sensitive documents. I mean, we have a tank. We could just burn it. Alright. We must destroy all the intelligence, I guess. Do you see that? Where are my psychic German, you know, senses? I didn't even see that guy. But yeah, once the Americans were actually in Europe, it's like we were just kind of there for the party. We were the doughboys, as they called us. But hey, you know what? We were that much needed moral and physical support that they needed. Yeah, that was Kingdom Hearts 3. Where I was fighting the a super boss, and the super boss somehow glitched during his final phase, and he basically became invincible during his second phase, and I just kept fighting him even though he kept doing his one-hit kill attacks, and so I learned to become very proficient with dodging. Dark was there seeing it live, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I've been here for like 30 minutes, and I don't want to stop in case I'm doing the right thing, and maybe he has a really long health bar. And so, and then fortunately we just like rebooted the game, and it you know, finished the fight in 5 minutes. I was like, oh my god. Of course I knew what to do. I was very good at fighting that boss after fighting him for 30 minutes straight and not dying somehow. I really wish I kept that. I really wish I kept that stream. I wasn't recording my streams like I am right now. Do we really need these sensitive documents? Would it not be better just to burn them? What is up with my tank? It's vomiting dirt everywhere. Okay.
Was sind die Befehle, Kommandant?
Schöpft! Vorrücken und angreifen!
That was a lucky hit. Because you can move the camera, but that doesn't necessarily move the gun. Six o'clock, are you serious? Wait, that's 12 o'clock. Where the heck are you looking? How the hell do you read time in Germany? Okay, okay, game. Cutting it close here with 7 health.
Ich hab's gleich!
I got hot.
Sind wieder einsatzbereit!
Yeah, I can see the circle is the camera, and you know, it does take some time to move it turret, so even when I zoom in, the gun isn't necessarily where I'm looking at. Gun, cannon.
Treffer bestätigt!
Wir haben's geschafft!
Alright, tank. Make it over this car. You can do it. There we go. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a dog in this entire game. That's the first dog I've seen. I was in shock. I'm like, there are dogs in this game? They made dogs? We're gonna see Hartman. I'm actually really glad Battlefield chose to put a mission like this in their game, because part of me always wonders, for a lot of these pro-American military games we have, like World War II or blah blah blah, where we're shooting up Germans or shooting up Japanese, how do those get perceived or even released internationally? It's obviously our version, a very exaggerated and celebrated version of it, a very power fantasy, where we're just mowing down all those guys. But it really makes me wonder on the opposite perspective. You know, this isn't 1945 anymore. This is 2020. How is this being perceived internationally? And does it go both sides? Got hung for... They had time to hang him in the middle of this chaos? My goodness.
Seine Pflicht? Nein, war ein Verräter.
Was he a deserter? I guess we'll never know. He did kind of disappear on us. But what difference does it make? He's dead and we move on.
Wo sind die? Wo sind die Verteidigungsstellungen? Kommandant, was ist hier los?
Ich werde es herausfinden. Und Sie reißen sich zusammen, Schröder.
Oh mein Gott. Es geht alles den Bach runter. Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Wo ist jetzt die große Verteidigung? Hier sollte sie doch sein.
Wir sind allein. Bleiben Sie, wo Sie sind. Ich besorge uns ein intaktes Funkgerät.
Look at this cinematography right here.
Sobald meine Männer in Sicherheit sein würden, würde ich Zeit haben, über alles nachzudenken, die Lage zu bewerten. Das redete ich mir jedenfalls ein. Damals habe ich meine eigenen Lügen nicht erkannt.
Achtung! Alle mobilen Einsatzkräfte an der Kathedrale! Verteidigen Sie den Brückenkopf um jeden Preis! Lassen Sie niemanden vorbei!
And this is how it ends. Oh man, we're gonna make us fight to the bitter end.
Sind Sie verrückt? Ruhe! Alle! In Bewegung bleiben oder Deckung suchen.
Alright, here we go.
Schön, Sie wieder an Bord zu haben, Kommandant.
I wonder if this is even a winnable objective. Alright, we're gonna isolate and destroy. We're gonna do the best we can. Fight cover to cover. And repair constantly. That's right. Show me your flank. Get out of here.
Da sind noch mehr. Durchhalten.
I get the feeling there's going to be more and more tanks till we die. At the same time, that's probably the most appropriate. I like this music that's playing right now. Other than that weird gun glitch, man, I think this might be my favorite mission. I like the writing in this. I like the scenario design.
Der macht keinen Mucks mehr.
This is also tragic, and this is why I really like this. I'm getting emotions from this. I'm actually invested in the state of this, of all this. This is such a bad situation. I'm like, oh my gosh, the game's evoking emotion. This is the kind of stuff that they should be putting forth. I'm glad they're choosing to end the game on a strong note, because they sure as hell didn't start the game on a good note. Alright, we're gonna stick to the perimeter. We're not gonna go in the middle. They're gonna flank us. They're absolutely faster than us. They're controlling the center. I see it, I see it. They're already on me. They're on my 6, I got it.
Wir sind nicht durch die Panzerung gekommen. Sie haben's geschafft. Volltreffer. Da sind noch mehr. Durchhalten.
I see you. You poked out the wrong place, buddy. Ah, damn, they're already behind me? Shit. Shit.
Ziel ausgeschaltet.
Verdammt!
So schnell es geht. Komm schon, komm schon.
Okay, game. Come on. I know you're flanking me. Because I expect that I'm cutting you off. Haha, made you look. Side shot. I'm gonna camp right here until you're in the corner. Next, please. Bring me another.
Feindliche Panzer nähern sich.
I have absolutely played Valkyria Chronicles. I have not played 2 or 3. But I've started but haven't finished 4. They are definitely games that I want to recap, though. That was a whiff. Ah, shit, the rockets are really getting me. Shit, turn, turn, turn!
Wo kommt das denn her?
The music stopped. No more heroics now.
Gut, Kerz, legen Sie los. Ich hab's gleich.
Against any of your tanks, you have to use the Lancers. That's what their job is. And, I can't remember if they're called Scouts or Recon, but those units are, like, the best. I remember that. Where you looking, bud? Okay, gun. There we go. Oh wait, can I leave? No, it says destroy all enemy vehicles.
Treffer bestätigt!
Ooh, that was a good flank shot. That was good shots on both you guys. They had me in a good position. Caught me in the crossfire.
Stefan, geht's gut?
Vergewissert euch, dass noch alles funktioniert. Das hier ist noch nicht vorbei. Die werden sicher nochmal angreifen.
I'm gonna roll out to where that one objective is. That's bothering me. I really wonder why it's there. Watch it be like some mega invincible tank.
Vorsicht! Artillerie!
Die haben uns markiert, den Deckung schnell! Zur Brücke, los! Können sie nicht mehr aufhalten!
Tank, tank, tank. I can't get over there.
Kerz, aufpassen! Nur die Ruhe! Wir schaffen das schon!
What main force? There's no main force to go. Man. The Tiger tanks are mighty slow. But that's kind of the point. They are not known for their agility.
Wir müssen irgendwas tun!
We cannot stop and repair here.
Fahren Sie uns in Deckung! Wir haben nicht viel Zeit!
It's turning into slow motion now. Stop and repair. While it's slow motion. So here's the thing. Valkyria Chronicle, you need to have a healthy dose and taste of anime. It is very anime in the way it approaches war. It's like World War II made into a lighthearted anime. You kind of need to understand that. There are some deep moments that are very sad. But they're also sad because they're anime sad. So just let you know, the tone is not great if you want to take it as a very serious war story. Maybe wait for the recap. Oh, my driver.
Die haben uns verraten. Die haben die Brücke gesprengt. Die wollen uns hier verrecken lassen.
Das weißt du nicht, Kerz. Komm, wir müssen jetzt...
Was?
Sorry, but our tank's gone.
Stärke zeigen. Hä? Herrgott doch. Sieh dich doch um, Peter. Gott stehe uns bei. Alles, woran wir geglaubt haben. Alles, was wir dafür getan haben. Es ist vorbei.
Nein, Kerz. Komm. Tu das nicht, Kerz.
Peter, es ist vorbei.
Er war ein Verräter.
Kerz! Kerz!
Damn, that made me sad.
Ich weiß, er war ihr Freund. Aber er ist desertiert. Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, richtig? Die Schwachen überleben nicht. Das waren doch ihre Worte, oder? Sagen Sie's! War das nicht so? Just give up, damn it!
Oh man. Shot by. Man, that was a good story. That was a good war story. So, man, I was moved by that story. Where the hell was that quality during the first half of the game? Oh my gosh, that was good. It's like they had 4 different writers. And they was like, alright, each of you guys come up with a scenario. And they did, and they submitted it. And like, oh god, some of these are just not very good. Just put them in the front, just put them in the front. I'm like, are you sure? Normally you should kind of lead with a strong one, and then end with a strong one, and the middle ones are kind of whatever. Because the British one in Tunisia, not great. The Norwegian resistance, terrible. The French Dragoon one, pretty good. A couple missteps were pretty good. This one, the German tank, oh, that was good. This was good. That was very good. That was top tier. That was very good. Well told, well paced. Yes, I had a weird glitch, but fortunately, I ironically died and fixed itself. And moving. That was the most things like, wow, I'm actually enraptured in this. This is well done. So, final thoughts. I mean, it's not rolling the credits yet, but it's loading them. This game has such long load times for some reason. It's funny. I went into this feeling the second half was going to be even worse than the first half. And I was like, God, I'm gonna curse a bunch and be super mad. I can't. These 2 episodes were good. I'm like, man, I wish the whole campaign was like this. Let me see if there's anything. As sometimes Battlefield has a final note, like a final conclusion video, as it figures itself out. I don't want to run final thoughts just yet. I'm gonna see how it chooses to end itself. We always do final thoughts. No okay, epilogue. I'm about to say, it's like, what? You don't do an epilogue? You always do an epilogue. Alright, epilogue. Don't just be a montage of what we just played. That's lazy.
I was a good soldier. One among many. Firing cruel weapons at strangers in different colored uniforms. In countries that didn't belong to any of us.
I can't believe I called this submarine.
God help us all. The wheels of war are still turning. Throttles set, engines roaring, armed, fueled, in motion. But against all of that horror, one thing gives me hope. I have glimpsed another world. A world where humanity shines brightly, rising from the ashes of these dark times. Burning with hope, it illuminates a path through this wreckage. A path to somewhere better.
Are we rolling credits? What's next? I assume this game has credits it wants to show me. They always do. I really don't understand why the load times are so long on this. Or at least show me something other than a black screen. Low effort on that. Alright, so I guess we'll start with final thoughts. I thought I started late with the stream, but it turns out I kind of gave it just the right amount of time. Okay, so let's start with the good. Yeah, Breath of the Wild did have a good loading screen. It was basically a status screen. I don't care for Skyrim's loading screen, which is like a model. You just kind of can rotate it. But anyway, final thoughts. All right, so overall, not great. Man, no credits here. Okay, well I guess we're just rolling it right here. So the worst stories in this one, we had 4 of them. The last one had 5.5, because the first one was kind of a tutorial, a very short one too. Under No Flag, which was the British SBS Origins, basically. Terrible pacing. Incredibly boring. Characters weren't interesting, story was hokey, and the very unforgiving checkpoints ruined the very long expanses of you doing not very interesting stuff. Nordlys, I felt that it's funny because I heard about them advertising this story more, saying like, oh, this is based on real events of blah blah blah. Not like that. They went over the top, trying to oversell that one, and it was disappointing. I would say it was the most disappointing out of the 4 of them. Nordlys was just, again, it rehashed so many bad ideas. They redid the same objective counters under No Flag. The guns was very unsatisfying. You had your magic throwing knives. It wanted itself to be a stealth mission without implementing good stealth mechanics, which are fundamental because across the whole game, enemy AI was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Lazy. It's just lazy AI. They took all the lazy shortcuts that you could. Enemies have infinite ammo, enemies have perfect spotting abilities, enemies have perfect aim, enemies infinitely spawn. That is such a bad, lazy design. That's something I expect from last gen, because that was nonsense in early Call of Duty or Battlefield or Medal of Honor games that they did. And yes, it was hard that way, but it was hard for the stupid, lazy reasons of it being artificially hard because of bad design. Not necessarily hard because of an actual challenge. Story writing. Like I said, Under No Flag, not great. Nordlys, worse. I can't even pronounce what that is. Tyralor? I don't know. And then Last Tiger. Last Tiger, hands down the best one. Followed closely by the French, then North Africa, and then Norway. One thing I do want to compliment this, though, overall, is that I really appreciate that they really did choose 4 battlefields that really aren't represented for the most part. You really don't hear about most North African campaigns. In fact, the North African campaign that's in Sniper Elite 3, I believe, is one of my favorite ones. I think Sniper Elite 3 is my favorite one of the series. Last Tiger, emotionally enthralling. Even though it only had like an hour of our attention, an hour and a half, enthralling. Very good. Such good storytelling. Such good characterization. Such good humanization. And the French one, too, with the Dragoons. So good. Good story. Really had me going there. I don't want to keep beating up on the Norway one, but you really don't hear about Norway in World War II at all. Yeah, you hear about the French getting beaten up, and I appreciate them getting a thing, because the French military was not terrible at all. It was just overwhelmed, alright? And also they came out limping out of the First World War I like many people did. So I like them not only approaching the French military, but doing so from the perspective of the disregarded and discarded black people who served in there too. I think that was great. I really appreciate them taking that perspective and being so respectful to it too. Being like, hey, these are the stories from not only normal soldiers, but soldiers that nobody are talking about, that were there and have a story to tell. I think that was great. A lot more of the objectives were also, they felt like more Battlefield objectives, which I appreciated. That one was good. It's sad that the flying was so bad in the tutorial that I'm really glad I think they realized that we shouldn't make a flying mission. It's just, God, why was flying so bad in this game when it was so good in the other one, in the last one? So you had 2 good ones and 2 bad ones. I guess we can call it average. And that basically kind of was the thing, is that this was average. Visuals, of course, are fantastic. This engine that DICE uses, the Frostbite engine, is a beautiful engine. Frostbite is beautiful. I can't help but notice, though, that some of the environments close up, especially like we're on the ground, felt lower quality than some of the environments in the last game, which is weird to me. Gunplay, you know, hit or miss. Obviously, there's always going to be gun balancing. I felt the music was strangely absent in some of these. Last Tiger the theming was appropriate when it needed to be there, when it needed to be strong. Like, the part was like, show strength, and it played like this theme. I don't know what sort of military march, if that's actually based on one that we're playing, but I liked it. It was good. It was appropriate. Music is very evocative of emotions. That's why I value music so highly when we're telling a good story. That's one of the reasons why I love my later recapitations where I put music alongside the narration, because as many people have picked up, they're like, wow, it's great how you pace tracks when they happen alongside the story. I do that on purpose because when you are reliving these scenes or seeing it for the first time, the musical selections are evocative of the themes and tones of the story being told at the time. Music is a wonderful accompaniment to narration. That's why I love a lot of musical theater, to go back to an old point, because the music really works with displaying that story. And so for that, I value music very highly in a game. And not just music, but also sound cues as well. Good audio design and sound design is important. I rate that higher than I think most people do, but to me it's, because I'm not an audiophile, but I really do appreciate and respect, and honestly, it's a big part of how I rate a game. And this was average. Again, the 2 episodes that were very flat, and the 2 that were good, were good. So I'd have to rate this at an average. I rate this as average. It's not a great game. If you don't play it, you don't miss anything. It didn't push Battlefield forward in any new or interesting directions. But it wasn't unplayable. It wasn't a broken mess. It just, for the potential it had, especially when we saw their moments of greatness, it made me sad that there wasn't more consistency with the overall product. So those are my thoughts. That's the reason why I don't write reviews. As you can tell, just me putting final thoughts together, it's a stream of consciousness. I'm just going along with what I feel on the top of my head. And none of this is scripted. You guys get to hear it firsthand. So, Battlefield 5. Stick a fork in it, it's done. Oh. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. I may start Final Fantasy VII. I may start Final Fantasy VII next Sunday. Normally, you know, our Battlefields have been like, it seems that Sundays we're doing like the wartime ones, a lot of shooters, and on Tuesday, of course, we're doing the dungeoneering one. But I may do Final Fantasy VII. I may not. I don't think I necessarily want to show that live, because I'm going to be very critical of it. And I don't know if that's something that I just want to play on my own time and take my own time with it. I also don't necessarily want to start it because even though it's only going to be like 20-30 hours, I'm not gonna... I would have to stop it, because I would start it, and I would have to stop it. Because, number one, I probably want to record footage of it, because I'm gonna recap it eventually, I'm sure. If it's different enough. We need to examine that. I feel it might be, but we'll see. If it tells a different enough story. What I wanted to do, though, was patch the many plot holes in the original. That's what I wanted to do. I know how you feel about redos, Nano. But one thing I always want to consider is, what if a game wasn't good the first time around? What if too many mistakes were made, and a redo is in order? A lot of people don't agree with my perspective on 7. Was there fun with 7? Yeah, I had fun with 7 back in the day, I think. I didn't love the game, because even back then, I identified so many flaws with it, that I'm like, there are so many problems with how... I have so many problems with this game. But I was such a small voice. Everyone around me was lauding this. The social impact of 7 cannot be denied. I don't agree with it, with a lot of it. But it would be wrong of me to hate on something just because it's popular, which is another part of something why you should never hate something. It's like Fortnite or Minecraft. Like, I tried them, I didn't care for them, but I'm not gonna hate a kid just for liking Minecraft or Fortnite, just because it's popular. Or people that hate on Call of Duty. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? The recent Call of Duty campaign was excellent. The recent Modern Warfare, that was good. That was a good campaign. That was one of the best Call of Duty campaigns I've played in a while. Probably the last 5 or 6 campaigns, but it's the best one in a while. Last 5 or 6 Call... No, I take that back, I take it back. Infinite Warfare was my favorite campaign in recent memory. That campaign blew me away with how good it was. But yeah, the reason why I'm always going to give 7 flack, is because you're right. Regardless of how it was fully realized by the original product whether or not you like it. And I hate the fact that they're trying to make it a service. That game is not designed to be a service. Do not give me shit like that. I really hope that when I turn it on, it's not going to be like, get your dailies done, or do these challenges, unlock shit. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that crap. I don't want it at all. What I should play is the new Doom Eternal. That's what I should play. I can't help but hear nothing but excellent things about it, and given how excellent Doom 2016 was, damn, I am not surprised. id Software has been just killing it with how good they've been doing with the original Wolfenstein and Doom. Granted, Wolfenstein Youngblood is pretty bad, and so is Rage 2, but I feel that was more Bethesda's influence. But I don't know, it's hit or miss now. But Doom has been guarded, and has been under such excellent design. I'm really glad that Doom is carrying on strong. Oh yeah, haven't you heard that Final Fantasy VII is being basically done as a... how does he say it? I'm paraphrasing. But Yoshinori Kitase has stated that the reason they chose to divvy up 7 is because they want 7 to be experienced across the expanse of a generation. I'm like, in other words, you want it to be a service. You can't think of a good game as a service, even though you have Final Fantasy 15, which I don't play it, but I hear nothing but good things about. You want to make a game that has already existed 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago. Already has existed 25 years ago. Almost. I'm actually being generous, like 22, 23. And you want to rehash it in that doesn't work. And that it just doesn't work that way. Now, if you did a world of Final Fantasy VII, which you kind of have because you have 6 games in this franchise, basically, I could understand that. I think that, in which case, I would move my needle very much towards the negative side. Where a lot of the arguments you have made, Nanomaster, I'd probably use in this context, where I'm like, why would you spend and waste all this time, effort, and money remaking 7, Dirge of Cerberus, Last Order, Crisis Core, before Crisis. Why waste your time making those 5 or 6 games? We could just make a new Final Fantasy. Make Final Fantasy 16. Or make a new Final Fantasy 7 Universe one. Or make a 7 that this is what I wanted in the article that I never wrote, but I've read in every rant. Make a Final Fantasy 7 that acknowledges the whole universe that it's created for itself. If you do that, I would forgive you. Because at that point, you're retconning the story to such a drastic degree that you have to incorporate all the details, elements, plot points, continuity, and characters that you've established across 6 games. And a movie. And an OVA. You would have to do that. If you did that amount of effort, I would forgive this version of 7. But you didn't do that. This is the part where it's like, it's a very highly polished cash-in. I get the feeling, like, I played the demo. Gameplay's fun. I like it. It's not new. It's like what I told people. It's the same gameplay as in Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, but none of you fuckers realize that because none of you gave it a chance. I liked that game. That game was good. Did this story get off the balls crazy? Yes, it did, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I love the Majora's Mask element of resetting time and going through, like, Groundhog's Day. That was super cool. Majora's Mask did a great job of it. Lightning Returns did a great job of it too. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake is deviating from the original, in my opinion, very small ways. But I cannot judge it because I have not played it. So this is speculation. This is an early attitude. So when I play the game, it will be under scrutiny, of course. But, you know, it depends on where they choose to deviate. If it's like Resident Evil 2, where the main story beats are pretty much the same, but the characters, the environments, the gameplay are all different, sure, that's different enough for me. But if it's not, then we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, I think we'll talk about more about Final Fantasy VII than we are about Battlefield 5. So Battlefield 5, average game. You can skip it. If you get it for free like I did, go ahead and play the campaign. It's not super long. It was like 6 hours for us. 6.5. No, it was 7 hours. 7 hours. It was 4 hours last time, 3 hours this time. So about, 7 hours. But really only the last 2 ones are the good ones. So, I guess the good part of the game is 4 hours. Alright, we are going to wrap it up for tonight, and we are going to continue tomorrow, Tuesday. It's weird because I don't stream on Monday right now. Monday, March, we don't really do that too often. It's rare. I'm like, oh, that's right, tomorrow's Tuesday. In my time zone, it's Tuesday already. But yes, we are going to continue tomorrow on Tuesday team. We are going to be Tomb Raiding on Tuesday team, and finishing up, I believe, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think we're in the home stretch. It's hard to tell. But, yeah. We'll be playing a good game very soon. So thank you so much for watching. # stay at home, be healthy. I will see you on the next Battlefield.